Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Bryce DeMille. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So, kind of tell everybody what you do, and yeah.
Well, currently I play men's volleyball for Northville High School and Michigan Elite for my club team, and I'm currently committed to be playing for Calvin University.
Okay. Um, Before we get into that, what just interests you in the in the sport of volleyball?
It's quick, very fast paced, and it's a lot going on at the same time, and it's just a ton of fun.
Okay. It's like I know obviously men's volleyball is not a, an MHSA sanctioned sport and stuff, but I know there's obviously, club matches, competitive matches, just like
Mm.
very similar to field hockey as
Yeah.
well. What is that? What's that like? So what's like a typical schedule? I know this is a sport that's usually played in the spring. What
Mm.
is what's it like, and just some of the teams that are kind of doing it, and there's more interest, it's looking like, from other teams.
Typically in the spring we'll have a game every week. Usually we'll play 3 games, and our you could say that we have conferences. I believe right now there's 7 or 8 conferences in the state of Michigan. Majority of teams in Michigan are in the Grand Rapids area, but we have a solid Detroit basis. For example, my team Northville is in one of the Detroit conferences where we'll play against Wall Lake Central and all Novi and all these other teams. But we've been expanding every single year, so it's looking to be soon to be a varsity sport.
When did you when did you start getting into it?
I actually started my sophomore year. I just noticed that there was a tryout and decided that I've got nothing to lose. So I just decided to go for it.
Yeah. Um, and only you're I know it's only been a few years since you've been playing, but to know that you're actually going to be going to going to college for this, what's that like?
It feels great. I mean, I've put in the work. I mean, I've spent countless hours and basically started from scratch in order to get to playing at university. And I'm just happy to be there, and I enjoy putting the work in.
Um, so what position do you play?
I usually play libero or defensive specialist, and I can also play outside.
Okay. So for people that aren't too familiar with volleyball, just kind of explain what you do.
Well, so libero is the typically the person in a different jersey that you'd see on the volleyball court.
Right.
It basically means that they're the most defensive player on the court. They only play in the back row. And then outside hitter would be the other position. It basically means that you go through front row and back row, and your sole job is to do almost everything on the court, hitting, passing, all sorts of things.
Yeah. So kind of so what grade are you in by chance?
I'm in my senior year.
Okay. What really sold you about Calvin?
I'd say first and foremost, academics really brought me in. I've been always very important about that. And second off, for volleyball, I mean, it's a brand new program. So I'm also excited to start working off of scratch. And I mean, I'm not afraid of hard work. I love the coach. He's brought in a great philosophy already. And I think that they can do big things in the future.
Yeah, I know that Calvin is not for I know Calvin's not I know that sport I know that college is trying a lot of getting new sports. Of course, obviously, as you know, we covered here on this channel last week. Of course, they'll be starting a football team next year. So that'll be exciting there. But yeah, it's just like, being a part of something brand new. Is that what kind of sold you there?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, it just definitely felt unique compared to other programs across the country. And that's sort of just what sold me. I'm really excited to be just focusing on that specifically.
Okay. Okay, so this preview this upcoming season, what's that like?
For this upcoming season for Northville, it's looking good at the moment, but we have lost a few senior starters. But I think that if we keep staying in the gym, stay focused on our work, keep going after it, I think we can come out going with a pretty far run in states, I'd say.
Okay. Um, really just outside, how do you get ready for a match?
I'd say it all starts from the days leading up to the match, staying focused completely on what the game plan is, studying what the other team has to do, and even on match day, just staying focused. I mean, you always have to have that good mentality going into the game. You can't be distracted by anyone or anything at the most part.
Yeah. So going into, this season, what are your goals for this coming year?
I'd say for me, the goal is district finals. I'd like to win district finals again. I won it my sophomore year. We made it my junior year, only to lose in a pretty close match against Saline. And I just feel like, having a solid record. I mean, we won our conference last year. I think we can do that again. And I'd like to keep going farther in the States.
All right. Well, Bryce, thanks so much for coming on and talking with us, and best of luck this season.
Thank you. And thank you for having me.